How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI and Chargepoint. Both of these plays put up some good green days and they continue to see a lot of momentum. We're seeing a lot of momentum in the overall markets, and of course these plays are following. But you guys know I have to give you an update so you're prepared for next week. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. We're going to be taking a look at the charts, and we're also going to be taking a look at the short interest information. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So we're going to take a look at the chart for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $6.33, being up 2.26%. On the low, it tested $6.17, and then on the high, testing $6.34. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 30.853 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 38.428 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see that SOFI has been able to close above two of our major moving averages, which is the 9 EMA and as well as the 21-day EMA. So we ended up seeing a high at $6.34. Plus, on top of that, you can see the continuation of higher lows and higher highs, and we know that this is a bullish sign. So going into Monday, and as well as for next week, I should say, we want to see SOFI getting to the 50 EMA right here around $6.52. So that is a level you're going to want to watch very closely. If we decide to break through the low of the day that we saw at $6.17, then I'd want for us to find some support right here at the 9 EMA at $6.08, or even $6 wouldn't be too bad either. And if we decided to go below that, then we'd want to see support coming in around the $5.80 range. But in my personal opinion, if the markets continue to trend up, I don't see any reason why that SOFI can't hit 652. And if it gains some more momentum, that's where we can start getting to 690 to see if we can get that break going to $7. So overall, the past 3 trading days for SOFI have been strong. Let's see if this momentum can continue going into next week. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filing, you can see we have no new or closed positions, but we have a change here on September the 9th. So we have Wunderlich Securities Inc. with a position of 91,283 shares, and you can see the value change is negative of 29%, so it looks like they've reduced it. Now, when we take a look at our short interests, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 32.46%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 6.21 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 26 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.04%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, you can see for the close of the 7th, it was at 34.20, and then for the close of the 8th, being at 32.46. So it did go down a little bit, and then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 15.19%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So we're going to take a look at the chart for Chargepoint. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $17.68, being up 2.49%. Another green day in the books. When we take a look at the range on the day, it was $17.17, and then on the high, it was $17.78. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 10.484 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 12.966 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, but we saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you guys already know, and it's already clear that Chargepoint is looking very bullish. It is trading below all of our major moving averages, which is the 50 EMA to 21 EMA, and as well as for the 9 EMA. So Chargepoint ended up seeing a high at $17.78. So going into next week, we want to see Chargepoint getting into that $18 range. We know there could be some resistance right here at $17.94 because that's where we saw it back on August the 17th. So if we're able to break above this level, we go into that $18 range and then see if we can get into $19. Very doable if we continue to see a trend up in the markets. It also does line up very well because I'm going to show you guys something very quickly. Look, We have this cup that is forming. So we're going to have the handle, right? That's going to be some consolidation that we can look forward to. And then boom, we could see if we make that move up. And where we have that resistance is right around $19. So this scenario can easily play out. If we decide to have a pullback now, keep in mind, Chargepoint has been forming higher lows and as well as higher highs for the past 3 trading days. So taking that into consideration, since we found support at $17.17, if we decide to break below that level, then I want to see support coming in at 17 bucks. But we also do know if 17 bucks doesn't hold, we want to see strength right at this $16.51 level. So let's see what Chargepoint does going into next week. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Chargepoint. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filing we have here for September the 7th, we have Wealth Plan Investment Management LLC that purchased 16,659 shares. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the off exchange short volume ratio is at 46.46%, and then for the off exchange short volume, it is just over 2.92 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 150,000, updated 21 minutes ago, and then for the short vol fee rate, it is at 2.29%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 7th, it was at 41.21, and then for the close of the 8th, it was at 46.46. So that is a significant increase right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 15.30%, Chargepoint does continue to have short squeeze potential. So for my final thoughts for Chargepoint and as well as for SOFI, let's start off with Chargepoint. So I know you can agree with me when I say this. We want to see a move going to $18, and we also know that $19 is on the table when we took a look at the charts. We are seeing a continuation of higher lows and as well as higher highs, and this is extremely bullish. If we do decide to pull back, make sure you check out the chart portion of the video to know the levels that you want to watch, especially if you are a trader and you want to take advantage of the momentum. But overall, ever since Chargepoint got that price target upgrade of $22, it has been doing very well. I brought it to your attention. I hope you guys are making money off this play as well. Now, as far as for SOFI, it has been seeing a good amount of momentum, but what are the key levels that you want to watch going into next week, most specifically Monday? You want to see a move above $6.50. If we are able to do this, then we know that $7 is going to be on the table. So watch these levels, $6.50 and as well as $7. And if SOFI is able to hold $7, I feel like it can get really interesting from there. We also have to take into consideration we're seeing a lot of momentum in the overall market. We see that the SPY, which today this video came out is on the Friday, was showing a lot of momentum. It looked like it was trying to make a move above 407. Well, you know what? It did get above 407. It got to 407.50 to be exact, but I was actually thinking that, hey, is it trying to go to 408? So as far as going into Monday, could it make that move going to 410 and so on? It is very doable, and if it's able to do that, then SOFI and as well as Chargepoint should be able to hit the key levels. And what am I talking about? For SOFI, get above 650, and then as far as for Chargepoint, making that move going to $18. So make sure that you add that to your homework. But overall for SOFI, we had another analyst that came out and they gave them a neutral rating. But despite all of that, I just know that SOFI can gain some more momentum, and I want to make sure you're prepared. Look out for those key levels. We also want to see $6 hold up. If we end up breaking below $6, that's where things can start looking weak. I'm not saying that the run is going to be over, but we will be experiencing a lot more turbulence. So that's why it is very key for SOFI to hold 6. Add that to your homework as well. As far as for next week is concerned, as far as catalysts and stuff like that, we do have CPI that's going to be coming out. So that's going to be bringing some volatility inside of the markets. And it's also going to be an overall volatile week as we get into the middle of September and also towards the end. If you guys remember what I've said in my previous videos, that September is known to be the worst month for the stock market. So keep that in the back of your mind if you're doing trades or whether you're an investor who is building out positions. But overall, in general, let's see if SOFI and as well as Chargepoint can continue to have the momentum that we have been seeing and get to those key levels so you guys can make some money and also see some green in your portfolio, or I should say continue to see some green in your portfolio if you're inside of these plays and if you're watching my videos. I'll be talking to you guys soon. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and you know what?
That's about it. We'll talk.